Good morning, y'all. So it's been a minute since I've been on here to do a tutorial for you guys, and I wanted to explain why. If you've not been following me on Facebook, you probably don't know too much about my situation, but I am dealing with a lot of spinal issues, really bad bulging disc in my neck, among other things, and it just causes a lot of issues down my arms and everything with weakness and stuff. So that's why I haven't been more consistent with my tutorials, but we're here today and that's all that matters. So we're gonna get started. Hope you get your makeup out, follow along, let's go. Okay, always before you get started with your makeup, do your moisturizer, get that on real good. Do an eye cream as well because you don't want it to cake under your eyes. I've been using this brand right here called ITK or ITK at Walmart. It has a morning cream and a night cream, and I love it. It really helps moisturize those under eyes and keep things from caking up with my makeup. I also use the Equate version of the Neutrogena oil-free moisturizer. It does not have a scent. If you have sensitive skin, this is going to be like the perfect thing for you. It works for combination skin as well as dry. It's really great. So if you need a good moisturizer and you don't want to spend $20 on just a little bottle of lotion, this is it for you. So give that a try. I've already got my primer on as well. You guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm stuck to like one primer right now, and that's the e.l.f. Power Grip. They do have another one. It's kind of like a mix between this and their setting spray. I've yet to find it yet in stores. I may have to just bite the bullet and order it online. I just like to pick things up in person. I don't know, it just makes me happy just to go into the store and pick up a makeup product. But if I can't find it in the store soon, I'm going to order it. So today we're going to use my Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is a great option if you have combination or oily skin and you get that oil in your T-zone right here. This is going to be a great one. It's full coverage. It's going to cover everything that you need covered. And you guys know I've been stuck to my Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, but today I'm going back to my OG, and I had to pick this up the other day again because I didn't have any. So let's get into it. So this has been my all-time favorite for years, and I recently got stuck on the Wet n Wild, and I just couldn't stop using it. So when I do my foundation, I just put it on kind of like I'm doing a moisturizer. I just rub it in to my skin all over, and then we'll go in and you can use your brush or a sponge. Today I'll be using brushes. Now when I do my under eyes, I do use a sponge, and it's in my hair. Guys, I can't do a tutorial without it getting in my hair. So if that like annoys you when you're watching me, I'm so sorry. That is just me. I'm a mess when it comes to doing my makeup. I've always told y'all it's personal preference when you do your makeup, but it's also like trust the process because it's going to get everywhere and stuff happens. So I usually like to go and use two brushes when I'm doing this. For me, it just helps kind of even everything out. So I'll go in with my first brush, get everything smooth, and then I'll take a second, more flatter brush and kind of go in and buff everything out the rest of the way so you're not having any lines. Don't worry about your under eye for the moment. Like, we're going to get to that. Your goal right now is to go in, like I said, buff everything out. Always go down your neck. You don't want two different shades of skin right there. You don't want like a harsh line. Okay, next thing I like to do is go in and take a little concealer brush and kind of buff everything out around my eyes. Don't worry about getting everything perfect under your eyes right now because we're going to go in with a sponge. And you guys forgive my voice, like these allergies are driving me insane. So that's been the whole spring and summer season for me. Have to have my coffee. So next step always for me is going to be my concealer, because you want everything, you want a perfect base before you go in and add your contour or your powder or liquid blushes, anything like that. You need a good canvas to start with. So also, if you're curious about any of the products I'm using in today's video, drop a comment below. If I forget to mention something, or if you need more information about a product, just let me know. So I have started with my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo. This is in the shade, I think Fair Beige. Yeah, Fair Beige. They have a lot of shades, so like you can definitely find a concealer that you need. And with this concealer, it definitely helps if you have dry under eye area. So I'm just gonna buff the rest of my concealer out before we do our under eye, because we're gonna use a sponge for that. Okay, now I like to take my little double-sided powder puff and use the sponge part and just go in and kind of buff out my under eye. Guys, my voice, I am so sorry. It sounds so funny today. This is kind of what I do. Just buff everything out. Okay, so my next step in my makeup routine is always going to be my contour, and I use this Wet n Wild. It's very cheap. It's like $4 at Walgreens. It's just a little contour stick. It has vitamin E, so it's very good for your skin. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, but this is just kind of how I do things. So if you do yours differently, that's okay. Whatever works for you. So I just kind of, it looks funny, I know, if you're not used to seeing it. It looks really funny. But this is how I do mine. And like I said, it does look kind of funny. But trust me, trust the process. It's going to blend out and it's going to look good. So. Okay guys, I know things look super crazy right now, but I've gone ahead and added my blush. This is e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Tahiti. It looks mega crazy right now, but I promise you, it's going to buff out. So, I always start up here. And like I said, if you're anything like me, it's going to get in your hair. Like, that's just like inevitable with me. It always happens. I promise you're not going to look like you're going to war or something with all this paint. But it's going to buff out. And my hair is like sticking to my forehead. So yeah. It buffs out. Once you get everything buffed out, you'll see that you'll start to develop a pattern when you're putting on your contour and your liquid blushes, powder blushes, whatever you choose to do. You don't even have to do this part. Actually, you don't have to do anything that I'm doing or in this correct order. Like, whatever works for you. Like, I used to never do contouring at all. But I've discovered that I like how it looks on me. So, like, whatever you like to do for your makeup is perfectly fine. There is no right or wrong when it comes to makeup. I've always said that, and I always will say that because it's true. Makeup is self-expression, and it's something that wipes off. At the end of the day, it's makeup, and it comes off. So we're going to take a different brush and buff out our putty blush. We're going to add more blush once we get the powders and everything on. You don't have to do that. Again, that is your choice. I know it looks a little crazy, and bright right now, but once you put powder on, it's going to like really buff those colors out and blend it out, and it's not going to be as in your face. Okay guys, I've added some lip mask. I like to do that during my makeup process and then wipe it off when it's time to go in and do my lip liner and everything. It just gives you soft, supple lips to work with. So if you're curious, I use Milani's Rose Butter Lip Mask. It smells really great. It feels amazing on the lips. Oops, dropped my stuff over here. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're going to do some powder. We're going to set this face. That way we can start on our eye look, which is always my most exciting part of my tutorials. I feel like it's always what I look forward to with these, just creating new looks for you guys. So before we get started with the powder, I like to go in again with my sponge and kind of set everything under the eye. And I use CoverGirl Clean Invisible Translucent Fair. I've mentioned before, e.l.f. Halo Glow is a very good powder as well. So take that double-sided powder puff that we used earlier and flip it over. And I like to pick up just a little bit in the pan and then go on the back of my hand and kind of swirl some of it off before I set my under eye, because you don't want too much and you don't want it to cake. If you put too much, it's going to cake and it's going to be a mess. And let me just say this as a disclosure, you are going to have fine lines under your eye. No makeup is going to 100% not crease. You are going to have makeups that are going to claim that they cause zero creasing, but that is absolutely unrealistic. I mean, they can help, but this is our eyes. Like, as you get older especially, you're going to have some fine lines, and you can use eye creams and such, but we are human. We are destined to have some fine lines under our eyes. So do not freak out if you have fine lines. I mean, it's okay. I promise. You're still going to look 100% snatched and gorgeous. Okay, so next I go in and put my powder on my brush and just set the rest of my face. And yes, it's flying everywhere. I remember one time I was doing this and I looked down and there was literally powder everywhere. And it is right now, so trust me. If you make a mess with your powder, you are not the only one. I guarantee you. And I wear a lot of black. Like right now I'm wearing black pants, so it's all over me. Okay, so I just go in and pretty much just put this all over my face. You don't want your makeup like sticking. You don't want to touch your face and it feels tacky. If that's the case, you need to set more with your powder, because your hair and everything is going to stick all to your face and it's just going to rub off and you're going to be a hot, sweaty mess, especially in this summer heat. Okay, I went ahead and did my brows off camera, and yes, they are just as bold and crazy as I am, so do your brows how you want. Let me do my brows how I like to do mine. Personal preference. So if you're curious about what I'm using, I use Maybelline Express Brow in the Ultra Thin. This is the shade Deep Brown. I've gone ahead and added a little bit of nose contour using my bronzer. I don't do anything bold, just enough to give my nose just a little bit of definition there. And I like to take a little bit and just go over my forehead just to give me a little bit of bronze. You don't want, you know, it blaring on your forehead, so I like to just kind of blend it out just a little bit. This is L'Oreal's Infallible Bronzer in the shade Fair. And I've also said this before, but it smells so good. Like, I can't help but smell this every time I put it on. Okay, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into the eye tutorial. That is my favorite part. I always do my eyes after I do my foundation and whatnot. Like, you can do your eyes before you do your foundation. There is no right or wrong way there, again. So I just like to do mine like that. It feels backwards when I do it the other way for me. And then other people say it feels backwards for them to do their base first. But anyway, let's get into it. We're going to use some pink today, and I'm excited because I love pink. Even though I wear black a lot, like I'm a girly who loves to wear black, but I'm also a girly girl when it comes to pink. Okay, y'all, I did not plan this look at all. I have no idea exactly where I'm going to go with this, except that I'm using some pink. So we're going to see where this goes. I'm using Revolution's Forever Flawless palette. You can see it. I love this palette. It's so pretty. So I think we're going to start with this color right here. This peachy shade called Reveal. We're going to use kind of a fluffy brush to go in and buff it out. I hope it's clean. I don't have my spot cleaner with me. Probably should go get that. That stuff is amazing. I featured that in one of my TikToks, and it comes from Five Below. So I definitely have to show y'all that again if you haven't seen that video. It is not going to, this color is not going to be like showing up a lot. We just need a base to work with. So you can see it's just a little bit of difference. And we're going to add on to that. Okay, y'all know I'm usually doing a wing when I do my tutorials. Not every time, but usually. I'm going to skip that today. But if you're curious about what I use, I do use Wet n Wild Breakup Proof. This is the, I think this is the thinner one. No, I think this is just a regular one. They do have a thinner one. But this is the Ultra Black. It's the blackest shade they have. I got this from Five Below as well, but you can get it from Walmart. So anyway, we're going to skip those wings today. I don't think it's going to look good with this look. But I mean, if you want to add a wing, you can add a wing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this palette with the shade Bond. Looks like it's called the pinkish shade. And careful with this particular shade because it does tend to have fallout. And that's why a lot of people like to do their eyeshadows first. We're just going to put it right on the lid. Just like that. Always tap the excess off of your brush because if not, it's going to fly everywhere. And you don't want that. Okay, next step I'm going to do is go into the palette and use this pink called Force. I think we're going to buff it into the corners just to give this a little more of a matte look right here. And kind of bring it up just a little bit onto your brow bone. Not very high because we're going to put some other stuff right there. But you can see what we're doing. Y'all can see what I'm doing here with this pink, kind of buffing it in just into the corner area. Next, we're going to go in with some orange. Okay, next we're going to go into the palette and use this shade right here called Orange. And it has kind of like some pink sparkles in it. So we're just going to add that kind of right on top, right above where we added that pretty pink shimmer. Remember, dab off your brush because this stuff flies everywhere. See, we're just going to put it, as you can see, I've already started kind of getting some payoff from this color on here. It doesn't take a lot. You don't have to, you can use a light hand right here, which is kind of what you want. You don't want to like swipe it because it's going to be a harsh line and it's not going to look pretty. Just kind of buff it out. Probably going to go in with my finger as well and add some. Yeah, let's do that. Just kind of press it into your finger just like that. See how pretty that looks? Just right above that pink. Okay, so y'all can see that pretty orange shimmer. It's not too bright, it's not blaring, but it's there and you can see it, and it's gorgeous when it hits the light. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to go back into our palette. We're probably going to go back in with that pretty pink right here and put some on our lower lash line. Okay, so next we're going to go into our palette and add some lower lash color. Y'all can see that I've got that pretty orange right there. It's not blaringly orange, but when it hits the light you can see it's got some orange shimmer to it. So we're going to go into the palette and use this color right here called Joy. It does have a little bit of shimmer, which is kind of what I want. I love the shimmer look for today. And we're just going to pop that right on our lower lash line. And just kind of buff that out. Just like that. You can see it just gives a different little pop of color here. You can use a matte as well, but I just kind of want more shimmer today for this look, so that's what we're going to go with. Okay guys, I've gone in and added a little bit of inner corner highlight to my look, and I've done some nude eyeliner. I use the NYX Vivid Rich eyeliner in the Quartz Queen. It is a very pretty nude, and nudes just kind of help open up your eyes and make you look more awake. Of course, you can use black or any color you'd like to use for your waterline. If you don't like to use waterline liner, that is perfectly okay. I just love this step, and I've always loved this step. Personal preference. Do what you will, do what you want with that. But if you do like to do that, this is a good choice with shades like this. Next, we're going to do some mascara, and I've been loving this one. This is L'Oreal's Telescopic Lip. It is a tubing mascara. Another one that I have that's a good tubing mascara is Milani's Highly Rated. It is a great one as well. But today we're going to use this one. It just really opens up the lashes and just makes them fan out, and it's so pretty. Of course, you can do lashes on top of this if you choose. But you can see it's already fanning those lashes out. And put y'all on pause. Okay guys, it is blush time, my favorite step to my routine. And I use this big fluffy brush. You can use a smaller brush. I have mascara all over my hand, y'all. Just ignore that for the moment. So we're going to use Milani's Baked Blush in Dolce Pink. It's one of my favorite pretty pink blushes. I just swirl my brush in just like this. Kind of put it like on the apple of your cheeks. Kind of where we added that cream blush. Same area. I like to put mine on my nose too. Just a little bit. You don't want it to look like Rudolph, but just a little. Okay, next is our highlighter, and I'm using Milani's Baked Highlighter in Dolce Perla. It is very beautiful. I love it. If I can get it open, I can show you guys. There we go. And I just take my little highlighter brush, just a little fluffy brush, swirl it around and dab it off. See that flying? You don't want that flying all over your face. So what I do is just put it right here. You don't want like a harsh line, just kind of like that. Just like that, very pretty. I like to put a little on my nose too, and my Cupid's bow. And when you do your lipstick, that is gonna just accentuate your Cupid's bow. So pretty. And I put some just above my brow. Okay, y'all, next is my lip routine, and the last Get Ready With Me video, I just completely forgot to film that part, so I'm going to be sure to do that for y'all today. Alright y'all, one of my favorite lip combos is to use kind of a nude pink lipstick or a nudish brown lipstick with this liner. This is ColourPop's Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. It is so pretty. And today's lipstick is going to be e.l.f.'s O Face Satin Lipstick. This is in the shade Dirty Talk. It's very pretty on the lips. Just a very pretty muted nude brown. Okay, y'all, I go ahead and overline my lips just a little bit because my lips are thin. But you don't have to do this. But if you have thin lips like I do, it is almost necessary to get it to where I want it to look. Or you could leave it and just line your lips like normal. You don't have to overline. That is not a necessary step here. I just overline just a little bit on the bottom as well as my top lip because my top lip is very, very thin. So that is something that I do like to do. I'll be right back, y'all. Next up is the lipstick. I love this lipstick. It is so beautiful. And then when it says satin, it literally feels like satin going onto your lips. So soft. Guys, I love it. Next step is setting spray, and I use NYX Bear With Me. This is probably my favorite besides Milani Make It Last. Milani Make It Last is more of a matte. You can prime, set, and refresh with this. I love it. We're going to use this, and we're also going to use a little bit of e.l.f.'s Dewy Coconut just to give us more of a bright poppin' look. Okay, so shake it up a little bit. Don't point it directly at your face. Kind of let it mist over you. If you're using mattes, all mattes on your eyes, it's probably a good idea to like cover your eyes just a little bit when you're spraying, but I normally don't mess with that because I'm not spraying, you know, directly right into my face. Otherwise, if you do that, it's going to make your eye makeup smear, especially your mascara is going to be like smeared all at the bottom. So same thing with our Dewy Coconut, just to give it a little more sparkle and dewiness. This one comes out a little bit differently, so I may go ahead and do that. Okay, we're good. Guys, this is the final look and I love it. I hope that you got your makeup out and followed along, and I hope you guys learned something. If not, save this video, get your makeup out later, and play. And remember, makeup is personal preference. Trust the process. Have fun with it. And remember, at the end of the day, it washes off. So, have fun. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me.